Okay. What are our biggest challenges? We've been in the industry, I think we were one of the first. We started in 2019, even before Ushio had a bulk ready. And we have been through all the problems. The major problem this industry is having is, it's called UVC. On the first product we had out 3 years ago, the Danish health authorities and the Danish safety agencies, etc., came out and stopped our sales immediately, said this is UVC. And it took us nearly 1 year to convince them that there's something in the UVC range that is not really UVC, but, and they say, oh, but UVC, C stands for danger, or something like that, they said. and that's how it's perceived. What I would suggest is that we try to form an organization, or we try to bribe some politicians and stuff like that, to say UVC starts at 230 and ends at 280, and Far-UV, or whatever we call it, start at 200 and 230. And you should be called Save UV or whatever. But believe me, we have installed maybe 6,000–7,000 fixtures in maybe 500–700 installations worldwide. And we were facing the same problem. It's harmful, it's dangerous. We are right now facing an installation in a big hospital. We had 6 or 7 meetings with the hospital. Everything was ready. The surgeons, everybody said, this is great. But then 2 out of 100 nurses said, no, we're not going in there. And now we're in the process of, I wouldn't say convincing them, but showing them, documenting it's not harmful. I think we'll end up moving them. But if we did not have that limitation, this industry would be far better. Another thing is we have a lack of knowledge amongst regulators. In my company, one of the first people I hired, apart from Peng Hu, who's been with me for 10 years, he was a former Minister of Foreign Affairs of Denmark. I wouldn't say he's useless in anything, but he's a well-known face and everybody likes to meet a foreign minister. So we used him basically to open doors and give us time to speak, just to speak, and time to speak with the top level of rulers or regulators does help us. But more or less nobody knows about it. We tried to go into television with a TV program, and due to the fact that my CEO is a former Minister of Foreign Affairs and I'm an entrepreneur, the journalists could find a lot of bad things to say about us. So that entire introduction to Far-UVC ended up in saying, he lost the election and he was not trustworthy, and Peter had a shipyard that didn't go that well, and blah, 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 blah. Then they called a few scientists and professors, and you know, journalists, they don't like people who know about anything, but they like people who say what the journalists want to hear. So they found this one journalist who said, oh, UVC is harmful and dangerous. And that was the headline. Peter Johansen and Anders Samuelsen is trying to sell light that will kill us all. So we need to do something about that. And then one of our biggest problems is that the pandemic came too early. Now we have a research department at Aarhus University where they have these very secure areas and where they have this refrigerator full of stuff. So when we need to grow our industry, we could. No, I don't think that's fair to say. But we know it'll be coming. And what we need to do is to prepare the world for what we can do for them. We are deep into the hospital sector because we realized 3 years ago that we will not be able to survive our business if we focus on pandemic or that pandemic. So we focused on hospitals and other segments, which I'm very willing to share with everybody. And I'm also willing to share more or less all of the reference installations we do have. if we just had a better environment in this organization or this industry. My biggest problem, or our biggest problem, is whenever we publish anything, we have a few companies calling our customers and say, "Oh, Medico is not really a partner of Ushio. We are the right partner. You should not be buying from them. They're full of shit. They say that the lamps have 17,000 hours lifetime. That's not true. They only have 6,000, and then they show a document from Ushio, and we all know that Japanese are very conservative. We have proven that the lifetime of the lamp is much longer, but still, we have somebody calling our customers, trying to tell our customers that we are not serious, but they are more serious. Can we do something about that? I don't know. Should we do something about it? Yes. Because there are so many extremely serious manufacturers. So I have a suggestion. I'll come back to that in a few minutes if I have, I have 4 minutes, okay. Another of our challenges is the quality of products. Could you imagine that a hospital or a person or something like that is buying a light fixture, a Far-UVC light? You know, you can find them on eBay from $129 and up. You buy these inexpensive devices, you install them, and they have a performance looking like the blue line. You know, within 1 or 2 or 3 hours, it loses 30% of its output. You know, after 3 months, there's no output. The customer cannot see there's no output. So they believe they have something that's working. They are putting their faith in the lamp still having a bluish shine, but there's no disinfection. Is that acceptable? Is that okay? No. And I think we need to do something about that. We need to have industry standards. I don't know how to impose them or how to publish them, but my suggestion is that we form an international confederation of Far-UVC science and technology. That we appoint, or we ask Brenner or somebody else to sit down and try to work out guidelines and standards. I don't think it should be us manufacturers, because we would, of course, make the standards so our products is the best or the easiest one to have an approval. But I think we should work out standards saying if you want to be a part of this international confederation of Far-UVC science and technology, and if you want to have the ICFUS stamp on your product, the ICFUS stamp should be like a UL certificate or a UL stamp. If you want to have that, then you need to go. We could appoint UL, for instance, or another regulatory body to ask them to check products. Do they comply with these standard regulations, the minimum standards that our products should carry? And then they could certify. And once that's certified, people can use ICFUS, and together we will try to promote the ICFUS label as the one you should look for if you buy Far-UVC products. Thank you.